Hello, everybody, and welcome to the week 11 video. Can't believe we're already here. Uh, you know, we're still. This, is it me or has this just been a weird fantasy football year? Uh, there hasn't been like one team that's just dominant. There hasn't been really a player that's been incredibly dominant. Uh, Second round draft picks were basically worthless. I should go back next week and see our second round draft picks because I feel like they're pretty much worthless. I mean, the injuries that we have sustained to some of the top stars. I mean, Derrick Henry's out now. Your top running back is Jonathan Taylor, who, going into this thing, you were very skeptical of taking a Jonathan Taylor, but you know sometimes he falls to you in that said second round, and now he's your workhorse. So, uh, it's just an odd year, isn't it, folks? And it's just hard to explain. But the one thing that is always normal in this is this thing right here, still sitting around my elbow or my arm, uh, still gleaming in the light, and it feels just right. And I'm in first place, 2 game lead for that first round bye. I can solidify a playoff spot with it. I'm just, you know, feels so good that knowing that I may continue to hold this belt for another year. Uh, let's show how we got there. Let's get to our review. One to go defeated Kevin's famous Chili. JB takes the lead in the series 12-3. No help by Matt Ryan, who scored only .68 points. That's right, you heard it right. .68 points. Not going to win too many games that way in fantasy football. Rodgers is positive, keeps his season alive with a much needed win over what doesn't hurt. Eric leads the series 10-8 despite the best efforts by Deebo Samuel scoring 30 points on Monday night. He couldn't get that extra .12 to get run down. DJ Shark defeats the Piping Shrieks, who now have lost 6 in a row and have plummeted down the rankings. Bob leads this series 5-2. It's just nothing's going right anymore for Dana. It's just nonstop hurt after hurt after hurt. Maybe one day it'll finally end. If I would have told you Matthew Stafford versus Russell Wilson, you would be licking your chops at fantasy gold, thinking of all the points you're about to score. But that was not to be. 11.82 for Stafford, 5.64 for Wilson. And that's what led to this hill of a good time defeating You Got Jammed. The series is tied at 2 apiece. Tony Stank proves the 5-5 and keeps his drive for the playoffs with a defeat of Glorious Domination. The series is now tied 1 apiece. Travis, I just got a bit of fantasy advice for you. Don't let your players score 0 points. That will never help. Burden with Glorious Purpose defeats Just Break 100 points, who, mind you, did score 100 points. So, congratulations, you did what you asked. Now you got to really ask, can I beat 130 points? Kara leads the series 8-4. Yeah, it's just, Kara, you're that player this year that just runs into a buzzsaw. And, you score 30 with your quarterback, but then, boom, Patrick Mahomes goes for 55 points. Youch. So, there it is. Week 10. Put it to rest. If you won, congratulations. You might be one step closer to holding on to this belt. Meredith, you're getting there. You'll never hold this belt. No one will hold this belt. This belt will be retired soon. But you know what? I think it's just time we get right into it. Hey, Jonathan, you're up. But first, let's be reminded who messed up. So week 1, Eric with Chase Edmonds. Week 2, Sam J with Matt Ryan. Again, week 3, Eric with Chase Edmonds. Week 4, JB with Dallas Goddard. Week 5, we had Sam J again with Miles Gaskin. Week 6 and 7, no one. We had 2 weeks where we had no one, but then that quickly went away. We kind of went back to our old destructive ways. Week 8, Eric again with Chase Edmonds. Don't have to worry about that for a couple weeks, right, Eric? Week 9, Dana finally joins the conversation with Callaway. Jonathan, who is this week's?
Kyle, you should have chosen Renfro. Or you could have won. Wait, there's more. Kara, you should have chosen Johnson, or you could have won.
All right, yeah. Happy week 10. Incredible. We had 2 weeks where everybody did everything right. And we had 7 weeks where only one messed up. We finally hit it where we got 2. So congratulations, Kara and Kyle, to the club. It's great. It's wonderful. It's awesome knowing you could have won, but you didn't because you just played the wrong player, because you did the right thing. It just didn't work out. But we're still going to have Jonathan call you out on it, because that is the way we roll. So I'm all jazzed up now. Yeah. Woo! All right. So we are entering week 11. We play 10 weeks. And by now, usually we've got things clinched up. We only got 4 weeks to go, right? Usually we have 3, but now we've got 4. So adding that extra game, it's letting people still have a chance. Kara could go win all out, and a couple people could lose out, and Kara could sneak into the playoffs still. So, and even with myself and Meredith at 8-2, a 2-game lead in the championship bracket, we're still not technically out of the woods. So, if you think about it, it's just straight there. So, let's get right into it here. Let's look at some playoff previews. So, no one's officially clinched, but JB and Meredith can clinch a playoff spot with a win. No one has been officially ruled out of anything. Not even Kara. Even at 2-8, you could still sneak in with a lot of help. But the one thing that you can't do is you can't get a first round bye in the championship bracket. That officially has been eliminated for you. So I get it. Nothing's been clinched on the zone. So no season is officially over yet. Even Kara's. Can't emphasize it enough. Keep fighting. Break 100 points. Break 120. Live your best life. Even look, we're 8-2. 7th place is 4-6. Now I know you're saying, "Oh, it's an impossibility." Crazy things have happened. One freak injury, one bad week, builds upon another. Let's ask Dana, right? She had one bad week when she faced me in week 5, and she hasn't recovered since, and now she's 4-6. So the biggest thing here is to realize that this is a big week. This is some separation time. Meredith and I win, we clinch, championship. Some other people lose, and they're out of the realm of possibility if things go awry. So let's take a big look here at the week 11 preview. The 1 seed, 1 to go, taking on the 6 seed Tony Stank, who's hoping to keep the drive for the playoffs alive. JB does lead the series 1-0. I'm going to face what this is like to go against this new and improved Adam team that can kind of win without any of my Rams players. So, good luck, Adam. The 5 seed Glorious Domination projected to win over the 2 seed Hill of a Good Time. This series tied at 1-1. Hopefully Travis takes my advice and plays players that don't score 0 or get ejected from the game. This is going to be an interesting one. Meredith in the hunt to clinch a playoff spot and potentially solidify a first round bye. 9 seed Kevin's Famous Chili looking to get out of the gutter. No better way than taking on the 12 seed Just Break 100 Points, who right now is projected to just break it with 0.14. I know I said I wasn't doing numbers, but when you have a name like just break 100 and someone just barely gets over 100, you got to call it out. Kara does lead this series 9-5, but the last couple she has been dropping the ball, so that doesn't mean anything. Kara, your best bet is that Matt Ryan is still his starting quarterback. Oh, this is a good matchup because these are the matchups of the people I do fun stuff for. So the 8th seed, Yuka Jam, taking on the 4 seed, DJ Shark. Sam B does lead this series 7-0. There's no better game to get right when until you see Piping Shrieks now on your schedule. So congratulations to the 3 seed. What doesn't hurt? Taking on the 10 seed Piping Shrieks, who's got to eventually end that 6-game losing streak. But I don't know if it happens here. Kyle has a commanding lead on this series, 7-1. In the most intriguing matchup of the week, the 7th seed Burton with a Glorious Purpose taking on the 11th seed Rogers is positive. They're both 4-6. So you know what that means. If we're doing the litmus of 7 losses out of the playoffs, one of these teams officially, their series in, not officially, but officially is done. Stick a fork in them. This is a good one. Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. So who comes out the victor here? Eric leads this series 10-5. Well, this is a do or die week for all of you except Meredith and I. Because even if we lose, we're still sitting in first and second. Right. So Meredith, cheers to you, right? So yeah. There you go. I guess at the end of this whole thing is just don't end up on Jonathan's video, right? That's the name of the game. If you don't win, just don't end up on Jonathan's video. So a few of you are still left in that running. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's video. And until then, I'll see you on the Fantasy Gridiron.